The market right now is brutal if you only chase headlines. The big names feel crowded. The easy gains are gone. But under the surface, a few small and mid-cap plays are quietly getting analyst targets that suggest they could more than triple from here. Most investors never look at them. They stay stuck in the same 5 stocks. In this video, we'll break down 3 tickers that Wall Street rates buy, with massive upside targets in sectors with real long-term demand: cancer imaging and treatment, mental health, and emerging market banking. Watch this to the end, because one of these names is tiny, very risky, and exactly the kind of stock that can move fast when things go right. Before we jump in, nothing here is financial advice. I'm not your advisor. This is research and education only. Always do your own homework and know your risk. If you're serious about building wealth over the next decade, hit subscribe and tap like. This channel is for people who want to think like business owners, not gamblers. We dig into what we're buying, what we're paying, and why. Also, drop a comment. Which sector are you betting on right now? Biotech, banks, AI, commodities? I read every comment and it helps me plan the next videos. Let's start with Radiopharm Theranostics, ticker RADX on the NASDAQ. On the surface, this looks like a tiny, obscure biotech. Market cap is about $59 million. The stock trades around $4.99. Daily volume is low, roughly 20,000 shares versus a 50,000 average. Most people scroll right past that. But the story is more interesting if you dig. Radiopharm is focused on radiopharmaceuticals. These are drugs that carry a radioactive component used to detect or treat cancer and other serious diseases. The company works in both preclinical and clinical stages. The focus is theranostics. That means combining therapy and diagnostics. In simple terms, the same molecule can help find the tumor and also help treat it. If you care about precision medicine and targeted oncology, this is a space to watch. Here is the key data point. According to recent analyst coverage, Radiopharm has a consensus rating of buy and a consensus price target of about $15.33. From a price near $5, that implies more than 200% upside on paper. That does not mean it will happen, but it tells you how bullish the current analysts are in the pipeline. Now, this is not a profitable company yet. You're not buying earnings. You are buying a portfolio of drug candidates and the chance that one or more succeed. In this kind of stock, price to earnings is not helpful. You look at market cap relative to the potential market for their drugs. Cancer imaging and therapy is a huge global market measured in tens of billions of dollars per year. If Radiopharm can carve out even a small slice, a $59 million market cap can re-rate higher. The risk is clear. Clinical trials can fail. Timelines slip. The company may need to raise more cash and dilute shareholders. This is why the price moves in a narrow range some days, between $4.87 and $5 even, based on the most recent session. Liquidity is thin. When good or bad news hits, the move can be violent. So why even consider it? The potential catalyst is clinical data and partnerships. A positive phase 1 or phase 2 readout, or a deal with a larger imaging or oncology company, can change how the market values the pipeline overnight. Governments and insurers are also pushing toward earlier and more precise diagnosis. That plays right into theranostics. If you take a business owner mindset, you ask, does this team have enough shots on goal, enough funding runway, and a clear focus? If yes, Radiopharm can be a small, high-risk slice of a diversified biotech basket. Price is what you pay. Value is what you get. Here, the price is tiny relative to what success could be, but the odds are uncertain. Only use money you can afford to lose. Next up is Atai Beckley N.V, ticker ATAI on the NASDAQ. This one is much larger, with a market cap around $1.35 billion. The stock recently closed near $3.63, with heavy volume, around 6.2 million shares traded, well above its average. This is not hidden in the same way as RADX, but many investors still avoid it because of the word psychedelics. Atai is a clinical stage biopharma company focused on mental health. We're talking depression, anxiety, addiction, and other serious psychiatric disorders. These are not niche problems. Treatment-resistant depression alone affects millions of people. Suicide, lost productivity, and healthcare costs add up to hundreds of billions of dollars globally. Existing treatments often do not work well or take weeks to work. Atai has built a broad pipeline. One key asset is Compr-360, a proprietary psilocybin compound in phase 3. Another is BPL-03, an intranasal drug in phase 2A and 2B. They also have VLS-01, a transmucosal film, and ELA-101, a serotonergic psychedelic targeting treatment-resistant depression. Beyond that, there are ibogaine, based programs for opioid use disorder, R-MDMA derivatives for PTSD, and other novel compounds for anxiety and schizophrenia-related cognitive issues. This is a platform approach. Instead of one drug, they place multiple control bets across different mechanisms that diversifies clinical risk. Analysts seem to like this strategy. The consensus rating is buy, with a consensus price target around $12.43. From roughly $3.63, that implies about 240% upside. Again, not a promise, but it shows where Wall Street thinks fair value could land if key programs succeed. How do you value a company like this? Traditional PE is not useful because earnings are negative. Instead, investors look at cash on hand, burn rate, pipeline stage, and the size of the addressable markets. Atai is not a microcap lottery ticket. At over $1 billion in market value, it already reflects some optimism. But compared to the size of the mental health market, there is room if even 1 or 2 late-stage drugs get approved. The major catalyst here is clinical data and regulation. Positive Phase 3 results for Compound 826 versus Compound 360, for example, can be a huge step. The mental health space also has growing political and social support. Regulators are starting to take psychedelic-assisted therapy more seriously. If the FDA begins approving these kinds of drugs, first movers with strong data can benefit. Risks are large. Trials can fail. Side effects can appear. Societal stigma or political pushback can slow adoption. The company may need to raise more money as trials progress, which can dilute shareholders. You must accept volatility. This is not a stock for someone who checks their account every hour and panics. From a business owner view, ask, does this company address a problem that will still exist in 10 years? For mental health, the answer is yes. Are they early enough in the space to matter? Atai appears to be among the leaders. If you want exposure to the mental health innovation wave, ATAI is a logical candidate. Size your position so that a blow-up will not damage your long-term plan, but a success will matter. Now let's shift gears to something very different. Banking in Brazil. Banco Bradesco, SA ticker BD on the NYSE, is one of the largest banks in Brazil. The stock trades around $4.08. Daily volume is huge. Over 47 million shares, above its nearly 40 million share average. This is not a secret small cap, but many U.S. pile. Investors ignore it because it's an emerging market name. Bradesco offers the full suite of banking and insurance services. It has current accounts, savings accounts, salary accounts. It does real estate credit, vehicle loans, payroll loans, mortgages, personal credit, and agribusiness loans. It also sells car insurance, life insurance, dental, travel, and pension products. On top of that, it offers investment products, foreign exchange, and digital banking. The business runs through 2 main segments, banking and insurance. This is a classic, boring is good story. You're not betting on a new drug or a new tech platform. You're betting on millions of Brazilians using Bradesco for everyday life, getting a paycheck, buying a car, taking a mortgage, buying insurance. Pricing power comes from scale and brand. This is one of the pillars of Brazil's financial system. Here we'd finally have a more traditional valuation. Bradesco trades at a price-to-earnings ratio of around 10.45. That's well below many U.S. banks and far below most tech names. The stock's recent 50-day trading range is between $3.27 and $4.20. That tells you we're not at some crazy bubble price. Analysts have a buy consensus rating which signals they see value at these levels. Why might the market be mispricing it? First, emerging markets often trade at a discount because of political risk and currency risk. Brazil has had its share of both. Second, high interest rates and past credit cycles have scared investors. But those same high rates also mean banks like Bradesco earn solid interest income. If inflation keeps trending down and Brazil cuts rates into a stable environment, loan growth and credit quality can both improve. That's good for earnings. The catalyst here is a mix of macro and micro. On the macro side, rate cuts, GDP growth, and currency stability can help. On the micro side, Bradesco's push into digital banking and cross-selling insurance to existing clients can lift returns. This is where the industrial policy idea comes in. Governments in big emerging markets often support their large banks because they need them to fund growth and infrastructure. That doesn't make Bradesco risk-free, but it does mean the bank is tied to the long-term development of Brazil. From a business owner lens, you ask, am I paying a fair price for steady, if cyclical, earnings? With a PE near 10 and a buy rating, the answer looks reasonable. You're not chasing a story that has to 5x to make sense. You're buying a bank with a long history, founded in 1943, that still has room to grow as more Brazilians enter the formal financial system. So we've covered Atai Theranostics biotech, $1 billion mental health platform, and a giant Brazilian bank. Now let's talk about the most aggressive idea in this list. The highest risk, highest potential reward name here, in my view, is Radiopharm Theranostics, RADX. It combines everything that makes a stock volatile: small market cap, early stage science, low trading volume, and huge dependence on clinical data. It also sits in a space with massive medical need. Cancer is not going away. Imaging and targeted treatment are central to modern care. If even one of their programs shows strong data and wins a partner or an approval path, the current price could look very cheap in hindsight. But you must treat RADX as speculation, not a core holding. This is not where you park rent money or your emergency fund. This is the kind of stock where you say, I'm comfortable putting 1 or 2% of my portfolio here. If it goes to zero, my life does not change. If it works, that small position can have a real impact over time. If you cannot think that way, you should probably skip it. Here's the bottom line. All three names share one thing: they sit at the crossroads of big, durable themes and current investor hesitation. Radiopharm is about precision oncology in a market hungry for better imaging and therapy. Atai Beckley is about fixing a broken mental health system with new tools. Banco Bradesco is about financial services growth in a huge emerging market. The crowd often runs the other way from small biotechs, psychedelics, and foreign banks. That's exactly why opportunities can exist. The key is discipline. You don't bet the farm on any one idea. You think like a business owner. You study what the company does, how it makes or will make money, and what you're paying for that future. Remember, in the short term, the market is a voting machine. It's driven by emotion, fear, and headlines. In the long term, it is a weighing machine. It measures cash flows, assets, and real value. Build a plan that matches your temperament. Maybe that means a solid core of broad index funds and large, profitable companies. Then, around the edges, you add small, targeted positions like RADX or ATI. Or maybe you want more global exposure, and a bank like BBD fits as a value play. Whatever you choose, size positions so that no single stock can break your future. If you found this breakdown useful, tap like so more investors see it. Hit subscribe and turn on notifications if you want more deep dives into under-the-radar opportunities. And tell me in the comments which of these three, if any, would you consider and why. Invest wisely, stay focused on what actually matters, and I'll see you in the next one.